Hey everyone, welcome to Cowabunga Ranger Talk. We are back post the haze that was San Diego because there was just so much news and so much things, and it was such a thing. How you
Yeah,
doing, buddy?
I'm tired as hell. It's been a
Yeah,
rough few weeks.
yeah, yeah. That's what we were talking about off air. That you got to go to work,
Yeah,
no
well, in order
matter
to do
what.
better,
Gotta go to work. Gotta go to work, man.
especially
Uh,
this hobby, right? This hobby kills the budget.
Man, now that you say that, one little thing I saw literally right before we started recording. There's a new GI Joe plane that went on for a Hasbro Pulse. I forgot what it's called, but they want $325 for it.
So I'm glad I don't do GI Joe. I am so glad I don't do that
I
because
I don't.
as a GI Joe collector, not me personally, but people that do collect that, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the big airplanes, the big bombers and stuff like that they used in the cartoon.
Yeah, but
I mean, it's the
there's
same.
got to be a cap to it, bro. Don't you think? Like,
Of course, there
uh,
should be. I mean, that's something like you watch a lot of YouTubers, like Uncle Tim has some reviews. He
yeah,
talks about it. Everything needs to be capped. Everything needs to be capped, and he's absolutely right. And I might shout him out because I love watching him because he's not a toy reviewer. He's not a video game reviewer.
yeah. He's
He
more of a
he ran
ranter.
he ranters. Now, originally, I guess originally his show was a toy review show, but then he figured
Yeah,
out that people like just to listen to him talk. And a lot of this stuff, if you actually listen to it, makes plenty of sense,
yeah,
but I can go on. I think he's a good guy. I would try
yeah.
to get
He's
an
a
interview with him going, but it's like he has his own things going on. So,
yeah, trying to align the stars, if you will.
yeah,
But
exactly.
still, I think for the most part, I mean, not that any fandom is cheap. I mean, this is coming from a series creator myself. So like, if I make Mascara Fighters, I'm always going to make the vehicles, the playset, the this, the that. So like, I get where it's coming from, but I also get the other side of the coin because I'm all as even as a Ninja Turtle fan. Like, the base things you need is the turtles, the foot, the Technodrome, and the sword playset. Everything else after that, you're kind of like you're starting to like bullshit yourself a little. Like, okay,
No,
you need the party wagon, right? Of any iteration, Okay, you only
yeah,
collect IDW or whatever, but you kind of just stay in your lane. There's little vehicles like the Cheapskate and other little things like that, but it isn't as it's almost ridiculous how many vehicles GI Joe has. It's, it's but I digress. Today, our topic is going to be the IDW shredder. We're going to be looking at him, reviewing him, going to have some fun with him. And, little spoiler, out of the 5 IDW figures that I have, the Turtles and Shredder's pretty damn good. So
no. I
let's
will
get
say
into the
this.
images. Yeah,
I will say
go ahead.
this in a second. Guys that listen to our show, the people that listen to our show. If you guys ever watched the history, go back like when I was in Thailand, and I sent a text to you about this. We predict stuff ahead of the time that it actually shows up. I don't know how we do it. We're kind of like the Simpsons. We kind of predict it and it just kind of happens. But
Yeah,
I'm editing some of these videos down to shorts and I'm
yeah,
just listening going, really? We said that and then
yeah.
this happens. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting.
Well,
So
I think it goes with you know your fandom because you're as much of a fan as I am, and I guess my second expertise is a series creator because I see more of the runway, if you will, for
yeah.
things. Like, I could see more of, okay, so this is coming, so that is coming, so we're going here, we're going there, type thing. So you're right. I saw some of the little shorts we do. You've clipped together, and they make a lot of the sense that we talked about. Look, think not to be full of ourselves, but just like two or three things off the top of the dome that I've seen. We
Hmm.
predicted the sewer playset, right?
We did.
We predicted the mutant modular, which nobody was talking about when we talked about it. Remember how I
Exactly.
told nobody was
Yes.
talking about it. We predicted. even the rollouts, like we talked before, loyal subjects. We were talking about loyal subjects are going to dump a bunch of figures on San Diego, and what did they do? They dumped a bunch of figures on San Diego. Like, but you know, that's kind of the fun of also being part of the fandom. As a hybrid show too, because we're not just like write about Ninja Turtles. We're also sometimes write about prophesizing the damn Power Rangers thing. Jeez, like who could have called that it would like implode so badly right now? Like, not to
Yeah.
get on the whole thing, but you see what's happening right now. Like they're liquidating all the costumes. They've they've broken deals with Netflix, and this is an accumulation of things because we've been talking about
It
things
is.
as they progress. Right? We had a whole episode where even last year we were talking about hypothetically who would buy, and that episode did pretty well for us. The
Yeah, it did.
hypothetically, yeah, hypothetically, what would happen if somebody else were to buy Power Rangers? And now look at it. Now everybody's buying Power Rangers basically.
Yep.
I mean, it's to a point where Hasbro itself is going to be doing more layoffs, and I I'm it's I'm begrudgingly happy we were right. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to see
Yes.
something you care about. You know, I mean, at least for me, because like I like Power Rangers, I like Ninja Turtles. I don't want to see them completely stop or be what they're being right now. You know,
Yeah.
did one little news item I had before we get into the actual episode proper. Did you see this? This just happened, and this is more like prophesizing, if you will, or whatever. But Paramount Plus, they're shutting down this week. Like they're doing a massive termination of people and layoffs, and like they just dropped the Ninja Turtles the season, the Tales of the Turtles. They
Yeah.
just they just dropped it like a day and a half ago, and then the I guess the brand rep or something is like we're shutting everything down within a week or so. It's like, so Paramount
Really?
Plus, yeah, Paramount Plus is not going to be because it's Paramount Plus is Paramount TV, so
Yeah.
that's going to break contracts and that's going to mess up a lot of things. And I actually found this out because one of my boys, he's a big Halo guy, and he's like, "Oh, they didn't renew Halo for season 3 or something." And I was like, "Oh, well, I guess it wasn't doing numbers." And then next thing he's like, "Oh, the whole network's gone down." And that's like, "Damn, bro, that sucks."
It's crazy.
They
Yeah.
just dropped the Turtles, like, and there's like another season already filmed for you. You've seen this too, right? They split the. It was supposed to be 20 something episodes
Yeah.
with the Tales of the Turtles. Season 1 is like episode 1 through 12. Those dropped a day and a half ago. So now what do we do? I mean, what do you think? Is not
Well,
to monopolize the conversation, you know?
okay. Well, I think honestly, maybe they're just rebranding. Maybe they're having communication. Yeah, they're shutting down. Okay, fine. Company shut down. Pieces of their own company because Paramount's going to be Paramount. You know,
Yeah,
um, maybe they're gonna rebrand instead of just being Paramount Plus. It's Paramount. Like you said, there's TV already, but maybe there's like Paramount this, Paramount that, and it's gonna fall on where they're gonna fall for each show. Um, I mean, because like let's take YouTube for a moment. There's a YouTube, and then there's YouTube Music, YouTube TV, and a few other things YouTube has, and it's like you can use those, but they're gonna cost you money, or you can just use YouTube and hope you can find some stuff for free. You know,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, they could be doing all sorts of things.
This like the when I heard about this, the first question is it almost gave, and I hate to even say it, but it gave me deja vu to last year when we heard about Power Rangers and Netflix dropping them because like now we're kind of in the same boat with Turtles because season 2 is not going to be on Paramount Plus. So and their deal is not with Nickelodeon, even though they are Viacom Nickelodeon. So where do you put season 2 of Tales of the Turtles? Because the second movie's already in production. You've
Yeah.
already seen some of the stuff that they've already admitted that the Mutant Mayhem 2 or whatever they end up calling it, that's already got the shredder. They already got some of the cast. They're laying out tracks for it, vocals. So
Well, I
things are already
saw.
in motion.
Well, I saw Amazon. Prime actually have Tales of the Turtles on there too.
There you
So
go.
they could theoretically go this way
Oh,
because a lot of people own
Amazon.
Amazon anyways, and a lot of people have Prime, but they
Yeah.
don't know about the Prime Video that's free with it. You
Yeah.
know, so it's kind of one of those things. Anyways,
Yeah.
uh, if I don't remember if you actually sent me the pictures for the shredder. If you did,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
have
did.
totally spaced on it, and don't
Yeah.
remember where I put them. So yeah,
Um.
so I don't know if that's gonna
Okay.
affect anything or not.
Well, yeah, because I was moving through all the images. See if you can bring it up while I
Give me.
try to find the figure or something. 'Cause that's
Give me a
kind of
second.
the
Let's gonna pause here. So we're back. Sorry for the little delay there. As you noticed, there was no delay on your end, but on our end, we had a few minute delay. So I got the pictures. I found them. Don't worry, guys. We found them. So I'm gonna pull them up now, and we're gonna finally start this podcast.
hell yeah.
Okay. So I don't have
Yeah.
these in any special order, unfortunately. I just found them and zoomed them over here. So
All right, no problem.
yeah,
So that picture you see there, that's the basic layout of everything that comes in the box. You know, the
awesome.
figure, the multiple hands, the Orokusaki head, and their card.
Yeah.
Also, the best action, the little sticker that they like to put in the
Oh, the
to fill out the
BST.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah, to fill out the box.
And speaking of the box,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is some good art. It
That
is.
is really good art, yeah.
Yeah,
So here's a little description, I guess, on the box itself. Wait, yeah, the artwork. I mean, a box art is very, I mean, today's artist for box art is really fantastic. Sometimes the artwork is better than the actual action figure at times. It's kind of scary,
yeah,
really.
yeah. Because you don't have to move the box art.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no such thing as articulated box art yet.
Yeah, right. Straight from the pages of the TMNT IDW comics. Yeah. Um,
There's a little text blurb there.
yeah. And again, you know what? It's funny as I have the IDW comics, but what version of IDW comics are these? Is this like the one from Kevin Eastman and Peter Lloyd, or is this one of the other ones?
I think this is like the regular version. This isn't like. I think this is technically it would be what the years before Last Ronin because this is
Okay, yeah,
The IDW run. Because the
yeah.
last Ronin is the end of the game, right? It's like when everybody gets killed off, and you have to
Well, I
reset the
think I
table.
I think IDW bought the comics himself for a while because I have the giant books of the original Turtle
Yeah,
comics, the ones that were like issue one of one, back in like the late '80s. Yeah.
yeah. I think this is like just the regular IDW, not Last Ronin. I think Last Ronin is a completely different thing.
Well, we can get into this, but I'll just make a quick statement because I actually heard Kevin Eastman say it himself. Last Ronin was supposed to happen millenniums ago. Um, it was the way they were going to end the Ninja Turtles comics originally, anyways. So it just finally happened for them. I mean, it doesn't end the comics as you saw, but it ended that part of the comic line
Yeah,
to it.
the original continuity, so to
Yeah.
speak, at least in comic book form for the main timeline, because there's been so many spin-offs of the comics, anyways. So
Guys. So I
yeah,
know I've
so
been
they
scrolling down, but it's just been the box itself. So, but if you haven't
yeah
seen this in stores, this is what you'd be looking for the main front end of the box.
yeah.
So,
This is
uh,
the for those that are wondering. This is the regular release of Shredder because they're doing one with the cartoon colors, this exact same buck, and they're also the Shredder in Hell. That's not it's the exact same buck, but it's just different paint applications. But this is just the regular standard IDW Shredder.
so I have a question because you kind of collect this line a little bit, not as much, but what I've noticed about this toy line of turtles is that they just really take the same figure and just repaint it over and over and over again, and saying
That is
it's this line,
Yeah,
that line, this line. It's like it's the same character, and
yeah.
people
Well,
buy it. You know,
yeah. I mean, it's smart, and how are you going to blame a toy company for reusing the same buck? I mean, shit, the He-Man wouldn't be around if you did that.
yeah.
Uh, I mean, so many freaking things wouldn't. Yeah, that's what he looks like with his scythes. I think that they're called. Those sticks with the blades at the corners.
hmm You know, what?
He
Give me a
poses
minute.
well.
Give me a minute. Keep talking. You can talk
Yeah,
about this. I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
try to pull this up in a different way so I get a better shot. Okay, so
yeah, 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 yeah,
go ahead. You can ask. Oh, you have the
yeah,
figure in hand. So
yeah,
yeah, I'm gonna blow you up and you can talk about the figure.
yeah. So here's the figure. The figure. Look, that's what the knees are, because that's usually what the point of contention is. And here is the other bend, which is the the elbow bend.
Yeah.
So that doesn't look great, but the pads kind of hide it. So that's one of the advantages of this shredder design. So a lot of the stuff that you would be like, oh my god, that looks terrible. It doesn't really look terrible just because of the padding, the shreds, the overall engineering of the figure, because there is some pretty good engineering here. He does give good movement as far as that is articulation. He has hands. He's got double bends here. That doesn't look great, but like I said, it compared to the turtles, he's fine. This is something I've probably said in other reviews, but I'll say this: IDW is better at making their villains than they are their turtles. It just
Yeah.
is, because it is. I mean, the way that they lay out the pads and things like that, it's for the turtles. And you know how many times they're gonna repaint the turtles, because they're gonna repaint the hell out of the turtles. They're gonna Here's your black and white, here's your you know pencil color version of the turtles, here's the red bandanas, here's all of them in the same green. So this is this is the first figure of that I've bought at straight price. I bought this at GameStop for like, I think, $22, and I was
Oh
like, you
wow.
know what? Yeah, because I told you I was IDW. Loyal Subjects has a way of pricing you into, and it's a good thing too, because I mean their volume is pretty high. Like if you go into Ross or you go into anything, you get one turtle, and I've said it before. It's a chain reaction. It's You get Leo, you got to get Donnie, you got to get Mikey, and next
Oh,
thing you know, you're buying them.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I know I'm blowing your mind here with this type of stuff, but like, yeah, this figure is fun. Out of the five, this is the best one. This one moves the best. This one kicks the cleanest. If you could see
Yeah.
me there, look at that shot right there. The way his elbow. If it was at a slightly different angle and with better lighting, because more photography wise, angle wise, that is a very good angle for Shredder. Because that's the shreds are popping up. It's not
Yeah.
that. It's a very good figure. Uh, I think this would probably be like top five, because I have some of some of the Loyal Subject stuff. So I think this would be in my top five of uh, Loyal Subjects. Like if I had to, it'd probably be Krang, Razor Toka, this Shredder right here, and the Loyal Subjects, the Loyal Leatherhead. Me and Loyal Subjects are working on now play. It'd be nice, but
Right.
no,
Yeah.
I think I'll save a fifth one for when they eventually give me the Snake Karai, or they did do their own Karai, because I want to see them try a female buck, a female ninja, see what they could do with a Karai. And I like Karai as a character enough that I'd probably buy multiples of her in multiple
Okay.
iterations.
So I think I might be wrong about this because I think they called it Shredder at Comic Con, but it looked like it was Karai, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it looks more Karai than Shredder."
What,
Uh,
this one?
no, 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 the one they had at the San Diego Comic Con. It was
Oh,
a
this.
Shredder, but it was they were calling it Shredder, but it looks like it was a Shredder with Karai's face on it.
Well, that might be like two or three different things. So
Yeah.
we'd have to bring up the image because I think NECA's doing like two or three different versions of that. Like, because they'll have the Karai body with some shreds to make it look like Shredder, but I think she's in
Yeah.
red, and I think maybe there's like a variant at Walmart that's in blue or like
Okay.
in gray or something like that. But they're gonna get their juice out of the buck. No,
Oh,
no,
of
don't worry about
course.
that. So, but yeah, as far as going back to the figure goes, I think the figure is very, very good. Look, there's a good comparison shot of just how good they've gotten because when they started, that was the shredder, that little shredder.
Yeah.
And look
Classic.
how much, yeah, look how much better they've gotten with their overall sculpt. Like the abdomen alone is way better. Like this, the look, I have the figure in hand. Look, the thing can move a lot better than it could before, and it's not as brittle or as small. See, look, like it's not perfect, but
Oh,
it's better than what we did. So it shows improvement, which I like in the toy company. When hey,
and
look,
it
you're
still has the
improving
same
your
cut
stuff.
on it too. But
Yeah, but it's
you can't really see that cut on. Okay, so I can see the cut on the original run, the cartoon version one, but on that
yeah,
one, I do not see it as easily. That's pretty cool.
yeah. That's part of the design and the engineering in itself is to hide the cuts, which is something Super Seven's always about.
Missing
Yeah, because oh man, they'll be the first to cry about that stuff.
because I'm gonna be yeah. No, let's just be dead honest. This cut right here on the shredder, the gray shredder, is
Yeah,
the same cut they used for the Power Ranger girls, the girl figures. It's the exact same type of cut on Super 7. I don't know about
yeah,
on the Turtles because I don't really take a hard look at them, but
yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's a different design as far as shell, because as far as like the Super 7, it's a soft plastic for the shell and the chest shell parts, so they
Okay.
can put a bunch of stuff and hide it. You know. Do we got any more images there,
Oh,
buddy?
we got tons. You
Yeah,
sent
so
me
we
a
can.
whole lot, and some of them look like
Yeah,
they're just
yeah,
similar to the other ones. I mean, I just downloaded them all and emailed it to myself.
yeah. There you
But
go.
yeah,
Yeah,
honestly, I don't like the way they did the face on this
the human
character.
face, the human face, or
No, no,
the
this one.
mask.
There's one, the one with the mask. It looks
Yeah.
like the mask went over the eyes too much. It
Well,
looks like it's out of like the placement of the mask is wrong.
yeah. Well, I think what they were going for was obviously the IDW look, but it's kind of reminiscent of. Did you ever have the 2003 Karai, the
No, I
toy
never.
by
I never.
Playmates?
I barely watched the TV show. If you want to be
Yeah,
honest, I played the video games, but the TV
yeah.
show, no.
Well, the action figure of Karai was dressed as Shredder, and her helmet was very similar to this design. I wanted to show that too because you start moving stuff around and you think you're gonna break it, but no, it just popped right back in. So it wasn't a big
So
fear.
yeah, I mean, it looks like it's just a basic ball joint connection, like the old fashioned Barbie dolls that my sister had.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah, a lot of
nothing too special.
yeah. They didn't split the atom here, but like I said, I enjoy this figure and he's fine. There's
Yeah,
nothing really wrong with him. If you can scroll to some pictures of yeah, there you go. See, he's so much better than the other one. I almost am a little tempted to get this in those colors, the one that they put in San Diego, just to see what,
yeah.
or at least look at it, see what it looks like. Because this color palette is very very fun too. Because the big red cape, the blue
Hmm.
suit, the gray cuffs, the helmet. It's a fun design. I'm not gonna lie either.
Well, now that I see this, we all know the remastered version of Shredder's coming out from Playmates sometime this year, next year, whatever. They didn't really say because no one did a live stream of the Playmates panel or recorded it. So I don't know exactly when it's coming out, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna pretty much look like this guy. The way the remaster is gonna be, because the remasters are taller, they have more articulation.
Man, I hope so.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hope so.
So
That was one fear I talked about the other day when we were in the last episode. That I hope everybody's not like 5 inches and call it a day, because that's gonna be
right.
terrible for
eh,
modern toy collectors. Because this box yells at you that you're old. It's got the big 40 years on it. I mean, we'll get into that in another episode, but like I hope it
Exactly.
does. It does. What it's
Yeah.
supposed to do. You can scroll a little more. See, I want to get a shot of yeah, that's the one I wanted to go to. I like that screaming head.
Oh
I
yes,
hope that the Rokusaki head,
yeah.
and I like this look too. I think this look would look really well if the suit was black, but with the red
See,
accents and they closed the
I,
mouth a little. I think it looked
I
more
like
badass.
I like this way because he looks like a foot soldier, like he should. Like, okay, I'm the Foot Clan leader, but then I'm gonna put my helmet on and I'm the Shredder, the badass leader.
Yeah,
So this
yeah.
this makes a lot of sense to me.
I don't know enough about the IDW world, so I don't know what characters are missing. I don't know if they use Baxter or they use Han, they use Rocksteady and Bebop, or they use Karai. Like
Okay,
who are the
so
henchmen there in
Henchman,
that
I'm not
world?
sure. I read the first few comic books, and the right off the big get go, uh, the ones that I have now, the ones I have is based as the original line of comics. So, like I said, I don't know if these come into play because the shredder that I have in that comic book doesn't look anything like this one. IDW does make that shredder though too. April O'Neil's a scientist with Baxter Stockman. She's not a news reporter at first. She's a scientist. Baxter
Oh, like
Stockman,
in the 2003
yeah,
show, she was a scientist too.
yeah, same
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, so because the 2003 show, 'cause I was watching something about this, is actually based on the original comic books, the first season. And then people were like, oh, it's too dark. Does this sound familiar? It's too dark. It's too gritty. It's too blah, blah, blah. That was the whole point of the 2003 show. It wasn't meant for young kids, it was meant for teenagers. Um, but yeah,
I, yeah, I really like this shot too. Like I know I took the picture, but still, like having the character holding his helmet is always a badass shot.
but
Like
you know
from
what? I take shots of my action figures when I do reviews, and you know what? I know how it feels. You get that one shot, you're like, bam, you're like, that's it.
uh,
That's it right there. Yeah. Because,
it's very menacing. Yeah, it's like
I-
reflecting on who the other side of you are. Like it'd be like Bruce Wayne holding the Batman mask while he's dressed as Batman. It's
yeah,
very classical stuff. You can scroll a little more if you want with the images. See what we got there.
little
I
katana
like that shot
action.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what would have been really cool if they did is have changing arms. So instead of having the shredder arms like this, you would just have a normal arm set without all the blades on it. So you could have like a Ruku Saki himself and not half shredder, half him. Take off all the gear and just have normal arms. It'd just be a cool
Yeah.
effect, in my opinion.
I've
Other
seen
than
another company that has nothing to do with this do that idea that you're saying. AEW, it's a wrestling company, but they have like certain figures that it comes with like swappable arms, so you get different looks. So you could have done
yeah,
that stuff. I don't know. I don't even know who makes the all elite wrestling figures, but they do that idea you're talking about.
that's pretty cool. See, I have to say, between the two masks, I get it. This looks more medieval. You know what I mean? Medieval mask, kind of like somebody that was wearing a suit of armor, plate of armor.
Hmm.
And this calls out Shredder right here to me, but this was like a straight out of like medieval times kind of thing. Like he was a medieval Shredder. He was what most people know as Shredder.
I like this because it like all the spikes are coming into the mask, so
Yeah.
like I created Mascara Fighter, so like I look at masks all the time,
Oh
so
yeah, of course.
I have an appreciation for the mask thing.
Wow, that's the last one. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So as far as like a figure review, this guy right here, if you see him, he's a good get. I recommend him. I hope they come up with more characters. I mean, I'm kind of in it now. See what they do with a IDW Krang or
See, you should have just backed out when you had a chance. They pulled you in with a little taste, and then you got and the
yeah, you got Shredder. You're already it's already too late. You're
yeah.
already in the ocean. You might as well swim, right?
Sooner or
Uh,
later, sooner or later, you're gonna go
yeah.
down to hell and grab the hell turtles.
Oh
Anyways,
man, the Shredder in hell. Yeah, yeah. That's the whole thing. And
it
to kind
is.
of bookend our episode today, I want to talk about this right here. This is a quick little review of a comic book. We usually don't do that many comic book reviews, but I think it'd be kind of cool to kind of slip it in here because for what this show is, for this episode, anyways, it's the Saturday morning April special, the one with Ace Duck on the cover, and
Yeah, I haven't seen
yeah,
that in years.
yeah,
Well, I can't say that. I saw it before the show began, but I haven't seen it since then. For
yeah, yeah. I get it. I get you. I get you. So I wanted to read this, and it's 100% a rip off of Indiana Jones. The story A, at least, because story A is with Ace Duck and April O'Neil. To the point that even the bad guys that I'm not gonna say what the name are because I don't want us to get flagged, but it's in Indiana Jones. Those guys, it's very, very much here, but they're geese, but
yeah,
and ducks. But you know who I'm talking about, the such and such. The such and such are so obvious, and they try to put like the accents of what the such and such sound like. It's like, come on, bro. And it was such a rip off of Indiana Jones for this. I know the idea is that Ace Duck, he's I guess a movie star or something in this canonical timeline. And I've
yeah,
always wanted to know more about the character, so I guess it makes sense. April kind of spoiler warning, by the way, since we're doing a review, so just so you know, April, she kind of like, oh, I got trapped in this dimension by this crystal or whatever, and then she gets crystal back, and basically the day is saved. It's fine, but it is something for Ace Duck,
yeah.
and I wanted to get it too because as a kid, you remember getting that Ace Duck figure, and you're like, when's he gonna come on the show,
Never
right?
does.
You remember? He comes in for like a flash, and like I think the
Yeah,
third episode, he's like flashing on the TV, and then Michelangelo like changes channel to a Godzilla movie or something. He is.
yeah,
You blink and you miss it.
yeah.
You
He's not
know.
the rabbit. With the
No,
rabbit jumps out of the TV.
yeah, he's not Usagi jump,
Yeah,
bro. That'd be awesome. I never got to see it. It never happened, but I think that would be so cool because it's so traditional as far as animation, like putting a rabbit and a duck together. It's Bugs
yeah.
and Daffy. It's like it's so many other things, but it's like why wouldn't you put a rabbit and a duck together? It's just
I mean,
fun. You
you
can't
got
even say
Buzz.
I'm angry.
You got
Yeah,
Plucky and Buster too. Now you guys know that reference. Leave a comment and tell me where that's from.
yeah,
Yeah,
from 10,000 years ago when they
yeah,
opened Rita's
exactly.
vault. You're that old.
Actually, it's about that. It's about that around that same time too. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
What a
yeah,
blast. So I
yeah,
think that does it for this episode, guys. It's a short one,
yeah,
but
yeah. And the second one, the second little B story to put a sentence here. It's with Mona Lisa. She returns. She says hi to Raph. They kick somebody that's dressed like 2003 Baxter in the robot suit, and that's basically it. It is a
wow.
good read, though. It's a fun little thing.
You know,
And
you know.
let me show something before we close out
Yeah.
the episode because I did want to show this. If you can blow me up,
Oh, sure. Don't take it personal, though.
yeah, right there. I think that art right there, that is some good art here
Oh,
by
that's some classic
Chris, Mr.
stuff.
Jones.
Yeah.
I like the big turtle, the old school, I
Yeah.
would have liked to see an episode of this. That's why I bought the damn comic. But yeah, I think that's it for today, everyone. You like our stuff, subscribe, share it. Share. I mean,
Sure.
if you don't want us to, enjoy it, and have a good day, and we'll catch you next
Right.
time.
Peace
All right.
out.
Bye.